Yo guys, what is going on? Finally got some more gameplay for you guys. I know it's been a while. I'm trying to be a little bit more consistent now that World Convergence is finally out. We got Galacticmon down at the bottom here. That's me playing that. And we're going to be going up against Hunters piloted by my friend Llama. If you want details on that profile and some more gameplay, I would check out Hong Zero's channel because he just did a video over that. But yeah, both two really strong decks. You're going to see here I'm setting up a little bit early with the Zenith, the Vemmon, getting the double hit here is Destro as well as another Vem underneath. And so I think for the first couple turns you really just want to set up. There's not really a ton to do. Your deck's pretty memory inefficient, so you want to play as many cards to where you can kind of mitigate that with your Memory Tainer Zenith, the new Zenith. I like training in this deck. I think it's a pretty good early option. But I know a lot of people are a little bit more partial to Fusionize. And then here we're going to see the swing over both Vems with a new Superior Mode. That card is really, really strong. But that's okay because we kind of want to set up our trash early with the Vems as many as possible. You kind of need them with the new Galacti. You're tucking for underneath to play a Ragnarok Cannon. With this Snatchmon, for example, which is one of your best recovery plays, you get to Digicross from the trash if your board is empty or if you only control Vemmons, which we pretty much do here. So you get some really, really strong clapback mechanics. Now, because of our reduction from the Vemmons, pretty much the new Vemmons basically do the same thing as the older ones, but they're a little bit better technically because they reduce for Snatchmon as well. But we're just going to go straight into the Galacticmon using the Ragnarok Cannon to blow up the Superior Mode here. And then this puts our opponent on pretty much a clock because if he doesn't commit anything to the board, or really he needs to commit two things, because start of main from Galacticmon will delete something. I've got lethal set up. Ragnarok Cannon, if you are not familiar with that card, the option card in the battle area there, it says when one of your Galacticmon attacks, you delete their lowest play cost, I believe, and if it didn't delete anything, you trash all of their security until they only have one left. Pair that with the Zenith we've got to get the Unsuspend off the Snatchmon, but our opponent is actually going to answer with a Tuarmon, which is really, really good. We did have the Destromon that has D-Digivolve protection, so in hindsight, it might have been better to do that because we know we're playing against Hunters. That way he wouldn't have been able to clear us at all with a Superior Mode tuck because we've got protection via Galactimon's Your Turn effect, or All Turns effect, and then we'd be protected from D-Digivolve as well. But we are going to go into the promo Destromon. Hope is not lost yet. And since we got a fat stack of Vemmons, we get 3 base cost, and then I believe at least 4 Vemmons underneath there, so we can delete 9 total, Tuarmon being 5, as well as the tie being 4 cost. And then we're just going to choke our opponent to 1, and from there, there's nothing he can do. So game 2, a little bit of a slow start from Hunters, revealing just a Superior Mode, no rookies off the Watchmakers, so I think that's boding pretty well for us, but because we're playing Galacticmon, we're not that fast of a deck. We can't really capitalize on him bricking. He does get the Tagiru, which is a really, really strong piece as well for the consistency, gaining memory, cycling, all that sort of stuff. We're just going to move out here, go Vemmon. We've got a Training and a Snatchmon as well. It's a pretty ideal hand. We're going to grab the Galacti. And then I think we're going to go, we're just going to go the Liberator Vem here to pass the turn. Unfortunately, bottom decking double Training, which kind of sucks. But now we're in a pretty decent position. I think it might have been better to just commit the Snatchmon, the newer one, because it still would have costed 3. Or it might have costed 2 with the Source. I can't tell which Vemmon that is. I think that's the new one. So actually, yeah, it might have costed 2. But then I guess we would have hit into the Training, so we could have still passed turn there, but you wouldn't know that. But it's worth considering because now our hand's a little bit awkward where we only have 1 Vemmon. We got the Zenith set up. We actually did just top deck it, but my fear was like, okay, we've only got the 1 Vem, so we might have to pass on the discard to draw gain off Zenith just to be able to Digivolve and Breeding. We're going to get a lot more value out of this Vemmon. Since our opponent wasn't able to answer it, you just want to reveal, use its effect as many times as possible. And then we're going to go into the new Snatch, I think, because we've got a couple sources there. We can also stack this with the Training. This is one thing you can do because all the Vem inherited say when you would Digivolve into a Destro or a Snatch or whatever, or the new ones include Snatch, but you get what I mean. So -3 reduction there with the newer Vem as well as the Training there. Revealing 3, that Snatchmon's really good, and then double tucking a Vem underneath. So we've got a couple of options. We can go into the promo destro here to be able to clear some of the guys. So I think I'm not sure if we have enough. Yeah, we do have enough because we've got, 4 Vems, 2 from the Snatch, and then 2 that had been ramped earlier. So being able to pop both the Tamers, and then Vizimon being able to clear out the last body. And here, I like Vizimon. One thing I should point out is because sometimes when you use the reduction off of the Galactic or off of the Destromon, you don't want to immediately go into Galactic because it costs a lot of extra memory since it all once per turn. So I find Invizi is like a cheaper alternative to pass turn, and you can also reproc it because the Vem and Snatch from BT21 say you can tuck cards under any of your Digimon, so you can actually just tuck it under Invizi, and then when you check a security, you can put Invizi back, and it's a little bit of a cool interaction. I wasn't really expecting him with just a rookie in back, 2 memory, and no setup, no board, to be able to clear that. But again, this is just matchup and experience. I think we could have played that a little bit better because this superior mode is a beast of a card. It gains plus 1,000 for every source it has, so it did beat out Invizi just a little bit, I think, because he's got an extra 2k somewhere. And then it's got Ray Pierce, so just getting that extra damage in. Yeah, I think that red-purple inherited underneath, which is Arrestor, gives him an extra 2k, so he's plus like 5 right now. Granted, the 2k isn't all turns, but the superior mode effect is, so a little bit of an annoying card. And yeah, again, matchup and experience here, I think I was a little bit afraid to commit the extra memory to go Destro Galacti because it's 2 memory cheaper to just go straight into Galacti, and I was like, okay, I can go Snatchmon here, tuck a bunch of sources, and then I think the plan is just to go Galacti to then play the Ragnarok Cannon to clear the board, and then we've got Lethal set up for the next turn. But because his deck, like I'm passing him 4, which isn't really that much, but he's got a lot of Digivolve options. He's got 2 Armon, and then he's also got the Superior mode that can just beat over my guys. So I think it would have been worth it to go into the Destro, just giving him a little bit extra memory, but ensuring that my stack can virtually, like, it's pretty much not leaving the board. Although you could say, like, I think I do have, no, I think I have 7 Vemmon, so if he went into Superior mode, he could, like, double swing over me, like, swing with the 1 Digivolving and then swing again. So maybe it was chalked either way. But he might not have had it because in this case he went the old superior mode, and then yeah, it was able to clear the stack by de-digivolving and then just tucking under Zenith, which is kind of funny. So really good crackback by Hunters as well. But again, Galacti's recovery is really good. Now in this specific version of the deck, I'll show you guys the list a little bit later. I had cut Fusionize just because I found that Galactimon's biggest struggle is the early game, and Fusionize doesn't really help that. But I still definitely think it's worth including after a little bit of testing. But just in this video, I wasn't playing it, so you'll see why that's relevant in a little bit. But yeah, we're just gonna go Snatchmon again, recover some sources. We've got the promo Destro, but then again, I was just worried about passing over too much memory. But I think I should have gone either promo Destro to be able to clear the Taiki. So then he doesn't, I don't know if he has source under there. He doesn't have any sources, so maybe it just wasn't worth that. I think, again, I should have just gone the other Destro just to ensure I wasn't getting de-digivolve, but I also wasn't playing around Darkdramon A, so he's able to just devolve and pop. I had like 4 cards left in deck, and I think I'd gone through all my Galactis, and I knew I wasn't playing Fusionize, so I was like, you know what, bro, you got it. Let's just go to the last game. But yeah, so in hindsight, maybe committing to a little bit of extra memory, although scary, is definitely worth. And Fusionize, at least at a couple copies. I don't know if I'd play more than 2, is definitely worth. Here we've, again, got a pretty solid hand of the BT11 Vemmon, double training. And then I just go Zenith, giving him 4, because he's got a memory tamer, so I was like, you know what, why not? Trashing the Ragnarok Cannon early, which is really good. That card's dead in hand, and Galacticmon can play it from the from the trash, so you want it there because it's not getting you any value in hand. We're just going to see early superior mode here, maybe. I think our opponent's just thinking on what he wants to do. I don't have anything on board to tuck, so he's just going to pass turn by getting some cycles instead, which I think is fine. Just hold a superior mode for when you really need it. We're going to go Vem, not hitting another Vem, but getting into the Snatchmon, which then will hopefully hit us into a Vem. So Digivolving for 1, revealing 3, grabbing probably a Snatch, yep, and then just trashing the other two, and then it then tucks any two Vemmons from trash. So the Snatchmon's really, really good at cycling for anything you need. It adds any card with Venom text, so that adds all the old support, all the new support. Really, really good stuff. But I think I'm missing a Destro and a Galactic, so it's not really looking that good. I tried to cycle as best I can, so we're just going to have to try to set up for next turn. And again, that's I think, keeping that in mind, that you're kind of okay with losing like your first stack because you've got a really, really good recovery play in the form of the BT11. The Snatchmon, I forgot his name for a second, BT11 Snatchmon is really, really good recovery play. So hopefully next turn I can get the draw off of the Zenith, draw off Digivolve from the egg. And then also something I've been underutilizing a little bit is the BT21 Vemmon, which lets you add back any Vemmon text from your trash. So that's something to keep in mind as well. You kind of want to make sure you're looking through there if your opponent hits something in security, or maybe if you'd revealed it, didn't grab it earlier, you can always grab it back later on, and still use the Digicross, because as long as your board's empty or you've only got Vemmons, you can go into that BT11 Snatch. So our opponent's just going to do some swinging here. I think he just went ahead and crashed and then drew off the tie, which is an interesting card to play in kind of pure hunters, the adventure tie. It is really good though. Not only does it just give you an extra draw, but it's another, it's a memory setter, and then it also late game helps you play out your Gumdras or your Arresters, and then go into your like big pushes for game. So really, really good card. And then yeah, our opponent's just got a ton of resources to work with. So we're gonna go ahead and pitch a Vem to draw gain one, Digivolving another Vem, and we are just not seeing any real pieces here. So I kind of got to think as to what's the best way to filter here. I think the plan might be to go play the BT, I forget which, I think it's 18 or something, the newer Vemmon that's like reveal top 3, not the 21 one, but you know what I mean, reveal top 3, add a Vemmon text, and then tuck a Vem. So here I reveal all the cards I need, but I think in a vacuum I definitely need the Galactic, because Destro by itself doesn't do like anything, and we can always go a Galactic over Snatch, although it doesn't always end up being what you want to do. But we do hit the promo Destro here, so now we can go into like a free Destro if we stack it with training, but only popping 6 cost total, which I think he staggered his Tamers pretty smartly here. Because we'll basically only be able to delete one of them. So, because like the 4 costs and 3 costs will total up to 7, we don't have enough Vemmons. So because we didn't hit off of the newer Vem searcher, which is a little bit unfortunate, but it is what it is. It happens sometimes. So I think the play is probably, again, you can save yourself a little bit of memory, like 2 memory, by not going into the Destro. But then if we don't do that, we give our opponent the extra 1 memory off the Tagiru, and then also that source. So it's like really just a 1 memory difference. So I think I'd rather just get it off the field and then make him answer this. Like he needs to be able to answer it immediately. I think we're going to tuck a bunch of Vems in a Snatch. I think I might change this in a second to tucking the Sumimon underneath, because I realize we don't have one, so we're only sitting at 14, which usually you would think is big enough. But against this deck, it's not, because we've got the new Superior mode we gotta keep in mind, and that thing's really big. So yeah, here I'm just gonna fix my stack a little bit and make sure I get the Sumimon as well. And then I'm trying to reorder it, because usually I don't care, but like in this matchup, the Digivolve actually does matter. So we gotta make sure, we'll change it in a second, but we gotta make sure Snatchmon's on top. When my opponent goes to Armon or like Director Azer or whatever. So fiddling with the stack here for a second. But our opponent's got quite the amount of resources to work with. 6 memory and 1 rookie, which really, like, that's the thing about Hunters, is it doesn't really seem that intimidating until they get like to this point where he's got 4 Tamers, he's got full setup, he's got Arrester, he's got the ability to Digivolve for a reduced cost of 2 for free basically. He can suspend the Watchmaker to give it sec plus 1, and then just swing for a bajillion DP. So we're going to go new Arrester here, which I think does Digivolve for 3. Yeah, Digivolves for 3 on top of your guys instead of 4, like the old Arrester. So it's pretty good in that sense as well. So then he's going to swing into Galactic, drawing 1 off of the tie. And I'm just drawing a bunch of cards off of the inherited effects as well. So just thinking about what we're going to do, of course we're going to need to protect, so bottom decking the 4 Vemmons to prevent from leaving the battle area. And then from there, I think my opponent is just unable to answer my board completely because the rest of Digimon will die. I think he was trying to dig for maybe a Quartzmon or something, but even then, Quartzmon I don't think would have been enough to seal the deal there. So anyways, here's the list. Like I said, nothing super special. You just throw in a bunch of the Vemons. I think these are the only two Snatchmons you really need. I don't play any of the BT11 support outside of obviously this Vemon. New Destromon as well, promo. Galacticmon. I don't play the old one. You can, if you want to like sub out the Invisis or something. I think this is a pretty fun package. But yeah, that's the video, guys. Hopefully you enjoyed, and thank you so much for watching. We'll see you next time.